What's up, team? St. John's again comes out victorious in their second game in this Dominican Republic tour. Today against the GUG All-Stars, a team affiliated with St. John's great Felipe Lopez. Not as good of an opponent as they faced when they faced the select team on Friday, but an opponent nonetheless that was doing its best to go out there and beat us. It wasn't a practice. It was a game with referees and an opponent who was, taking it more serious than you can usually mimic in a practice setting. So that's good to see. Again, same few players are the same standouts. Soriano, double-double. Posh played well. Jones scored quite easily. Wasn't extremely, a particularly crisp game. Plenty of turnovers, a lot to work on, a lot of baskets that came in transition where it didn't seem like either team was getting set. A lot of points scored again. Giving up this many points to a team like that isn't a particularly great indication of improved defense. Doesn't mean we won't be a better defensive team, but haven't shown in these two games the every making of a much improved defensive team. Doesn't mean it won't happen. Few players and how they played. Posh, 28 minutes, so a little bit less than yesterday. We'll see tomorrow against a tougher opponent how many minutes he has to play. He was 1 for 4 from 3 today. Still, you go 1 for 4, 25% as a whole isn't a good average, but on a given night, 1 for 4 is something that I think we'll see quite a bit of. And, if you're 1 for 4, mix those in with some 2 for 4 nights, you're going to come out to be around 33, 35%. I don't know, you guys do the math, but it'd be pretty average. And he had 8 assists. Another good indication. Did it in his way again, where he wasn't always particularly, the point guard per se. He was just finding ways to make plays for others. Had a couple nice passes from inbound situations that led to easy baskets. So 13 points, 8 assists. Quality night for Posh. Jones, he led the way scoring wise. 20 points, 4 for 10 from 3. He looks comfortable shooting from 3. We'll see how well he shoots it, but he's going to take plenty because we're going to need someone to be a predominant, or a big threat to stretch the floor. And he's comfortable enough to be taking them. We'll see how the percentage shakes out throughout the year, but it looks pretty good coming off his hands. And if he's shooting 4 for 10, you take that. He also had a few nice assists, finishing plays, 1 or 2 dribbles in the paint, and he's got a knack for finding the big man when the help defender comes in. He found Soriano, he found Stanley on a nice drive and layup. Stanley made a nice backdoor cut, finished with a 2-handed dunk, and then he also found Keita for his first basket as part of the team on a nice alley-oop to finish a fast break. Soriano, another nice game, double-double. 14 points, 10 rebounds. He was 6 for 8 from the field. So through 2 games, I think he was 11 for 15 in game number 1, 6 for 8 today. So 7 for 25. Did I just do that? Or no, 7 for 23. 17 for 23 in these first 2 games. Total of 6 misses. Yeah, 17 for 23. I was thinking it in my head and saying it wrong out loud. You got to believe me. He's looking really good out there. He had a couple nice plays where he ran the court. Had a one time particular where he blocked a shot on the defensive end and beat everyone down the court for a off the glass alley-oop finish from pin zone. So he's showing that he's able to get up and down a little bit better. We'll see, as the season progresses, what that means in Big East play. But it's definitely a good sign now. And he looks comfortable doing it. He had a couple more jump shots. I think he's hit 3 mid-range shots so far. Not something I particularly want him to fall in love with, but if he's making them, it's going to give us another option. And we're going to need quite a few different scoring options because, there will be times when perimeter shots won't be there for us. So if we got some bigs who can hit some jump shots, some bigs who can score down low, that gives us some more options. Speaking of bigs, Omar Stanley had another good game. Tonight he was 4 for 7 from the field for 8 points. He did another couple other good things well. He got his hands on some steals. I think he had 3 steals today. He had at least 2 in game 1. So he's doing some small things. He looks comfortable around the basket. He had one play where he fought through 2 GUG players for an offensive rebound and a nice putback. He hit another mid-range jump shot. I just talked a second ago about that backdoor cut, finished with a dunk. I just really like the way Omar plays, and I feel like he makes things happen. And the things that he doesn't do well, I think will improve with just being more comfortable out there, getting more reps. Sometimes he's getting a little sloppy with the ball in between passes and dribbles. I just think he's not comfortable enough, doesn't have as much on-court experience as it takes to really, just let your natural ability take over. But he's got plenty of skill, he's got plenty of athleticism, he's got this dog mentality in a good way where he's constantly fighting, he's tough. And when he's in, he always just seems to make plays. I wish we would look to set him up a little bit better, maybe run a couple sets where he's the primary look off a pick and roll or a low block post up. Honestly, I'd love to see some post ups out of him, but when he's playing, it's been a lot alongside another big man. So Soriano's been on the block and he's been finding his spots in the mid range and then just attacking the glass. But I think he's earned a couple reps as a scoring option. Curbelo, he played 15 minutes. He had 4 points, had 1 or 2 nice passes. He had a real nice play where he took a rebound, went full length of the court, beat the defender, got in the paint, and then kicked out to Jones for a corner 3. Was a really nice play and something that, that's kind of what I envisioned out of him. Making plays in the open court, getting by guys, getting into paint, and then, making 2 or 3 guys converge and then finding the right guy for shots. And Jones is one of those guys who can make those shots. He did have a nice drive and finish early on in the game. Again, I thought he played good defense on the perimeter, but when the game is in the half court, he hasn't really got comfortable, and he has had quite a bit, 1 or 2 many turnovers so far in these 2 games without, the benefit of, a bunch of positive outcomes from this, risky plays. So it's one thing if it's leading to a bunch of baskets or nice plays, but these turnovers kind of just were out of sloppiness, it seems. So hopefully he can pick that up. I think it's going to be a feeling out process. 1, he's in a new place. 2, he's in a new role. 3, he's playing with a whole new team who had someone that already filled that role. So we knew it was going to take some time. I'm not really worried about it at all, but just so far through these 2 games, he hasn't done anything to wow anyone. I don't think he's done anything that makes us think that it's not going to come together. But hopefully tomorrow he'll hit some shots and he'll feel a little bit better about himself. Off the bench, Mathis played pretty well today. He hit 2 threes, 2 for 2. The second one he hit was like a really good shot. His feet were set, came to him wide open, went up in rhythm, and he buried it. The first one was a tougher shot, but to his credit, he made it. He's got a game that is like built to get shots off. He plays as if he's a really smooth scorer and like a guy who's used to being a good scorer. Unfortunately, he hasn't been, as efficient as a scorer, but he can get shots off. So when he has nights where he's making those shots, it looks like a natural night. It looks like, he's made to do this. And tonight was one of those nights. He can get out in transition and make good plays. When his shots fall, it looks like he's, got good rhythm, got good 1 or 2 dribble moves to get into his shots. Other guys in the past, like a Justin Simon or a Sir Dominic, guys who weren't good perimeter shooters, not only couldn't they really make perimeter shots, they couldn't get into their shot. They couldn't, create a shot for themselves and get that shot off. They had herky-jerky, unorthodox releases, and they became decent enough as upperclassmen just to make wide open set shots. But Mathis, on the other hand, is just a guy who hasn't shot great percentage-wise, but he's got the game of someone who, is a scorer. So there will be nights where he has, 12 to 15 to even 20 points just because he's that capable. It just, for him, just picking and choosing what shots are the best. And when he is efficient and when he's combining that with the mostly steady defensive play, he's a really solid defensive player. He's a good asset to have. NY, he played 9 minutes. He had 3 points, 6 rebounds. Didn't really do anything out there to kill you. I thought wasn't as noticeable as he was in the first game in terms of making plays around the basket, but 6 rebounds in those limited minutes. He's active. He runs the court. He's a guy who's going to be contributing all year. Store, he had 10 minutes, 6 points. He had one real nice finish on the baseline off a good cut where Pinzone found him. He hit a three late in the game, and then he got to the line. He's really good around the rim. He looks like a guy who can get up and finish quickly, finish strongly, and he knows how to get to those spots as cutters or in fast break and transition. I think the shot will come around. I think he's got to get used to how quickly you got to get off shots at this level, but that's normal for a freshman. But I think I trust that shot, and I think he'll be a guy who can help us stretch the floor a little bit. Defensively and rebounding, I think you just got to get used to battling. That's something freshmen got to get accustomed to. Every possession counts. Guys are physical. Guys are going after loose balls, and you got to be willing to battle every second. You're out there, even if it's not, right in the middle of the play. You got to fight for those loose balls. Everything matters. Pinzone's got to get used to that too. Those two guys, especially if they're playing, three, sometimes part of a package where those two guys are out there as 2, 3, 4s. Without a true big as a 4 spot, we're going to need those wings to really battle and defend and help on the boards. Pinzone was better on offense tonight, really was pretty aggressive, and he saw some shots drop. He had 10 points in 12 minutes. He hit a 3 on the corner, caught it, went up right away, didn't hesitate, looked really good. Had a nice little floater in the lane, made a couple of nice plays. That pass I just explained a second ago to Store. We need him to get confident. We need him to get comfortable. And then it's going to be just by committee, I think. Store, Pinzone, Mathis, and my man Wusu just at that 2, 3, 4 spot, helping out guards, front court, back court, and just, maybe one or two of those guys really step up. But Coach Anderson seemingly is going to give all of them an equal opportunity to prove they matter. And it's hard to imagine him sitting Wusu or Mathis completely. So there's one of those things to really take note and to watch as the season goes on. King had another nice steal, a read where he intercepted at the top of the key, went full court, finished it with a defender chasing him. He's made a couple nice defensive plays. He hit a mid-range jump shot today. He looks comfortable and confident out there. We'll see how he fits in. Those guards I just explained are going to steal minutes, obviously the 2 to 3, but we know Posh and Curbelo at the 1. It's going to make it tough for King to find minutes. And Dylan, like I said, he didn't start. He didn't play in the first quarter, or wasn't sure if he was going to play again or what was up, but he finally got in. He looked a little rusty out there. Didn't play particularly well at all. Hit one jump shot. I think they called it a 2. But he'll be all right. I don't know what the deal was with him missing the first game, but who knows. Keita, I said, got his first basket. Drisser played for the first time. He didn't make any shots, but he was hustling, had a couple loose balls, a couple rebounds. Overall, a decent performance. Nothing to really take too much away from, but hopefully tomorrow against the Dominican national team, they're missing their big guns, I think, but there should be an uptick in competition. We'll be able to see more. But I'd like to see us just play more focused basketball. I know Coach Anderson's going to say they didn't put anything in yet. I think that's what he said in an interview before this trip. Offensively, he hasn't put much in. We don't have to run a bunch of sets, but let's be crisp. Let's look to get the best shots possible. Let's play the tempo we want to play at, and let's go out there and try to finish this trip out with a nice win against a quality opponent and kind of stamp our arrival and not our rival, but stamp a nice segue into the real preseason and get some positive momentum going that way, and hopefully some added chemistry can go a long way. But it's been awesome watching these first 2 games. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. Thank you guys for listening to the Red Storm Rapid Reaction Podcast. For Bootsy Thornton, this has been Pat Kane. Peace.